In the shadow of minarets piercing the Tehran sky, 6 American diplomats huddle in a dingy safe house, hearts pounding as Iranian revolutionaries kick down doors across the city. It's January 1981. The world watches, breathless, as 52 hostages languish in chains after 444 days of hell. But this isn't the story. You know, this is the untold saga of the spies who slipped into the lion's den, a covert mission so audacious, so classified, it could rewrite history. Delta Force shadows, CIA, ghosts, and a labyrinth of betrayal. One wrong move, and the world tips into war. Tonight we pull back the curtain on spy mission in Iran, the operation that failed spectacularly, but ignited America's shadow war. The year was 1979. Iran, the pearl of the Middle East, erupted in flames. Shah Mohammad, Reza Pahlavi, America's staunch ally, fled into exile as Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini returned from Paris like a prophet of vengeance. Crowds of millions chanted death to America. Radical students, fueled by revolutionary fervor, saw the U.S. Embassy in Tehran as the beating heart of imperialism. On November 4th, they stormed it. Gunmen in ski masks scaled walls, smashed windows, and seized 66 Americans. Blindfolded, bound, they became pawns in a cosmic grudge match. President Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer turned commander-in-chief, faced his defining crisis. Negotiations dragged into a nightmare. Khomeini demanded the Shah's head. Carter refused. Enter the spies. 6 diplomats evaded capture that chaotic morning. Robert Anders, the embassy's highest-ranking survivor, a 40-year-old political officer with a calm under fire. Mark Lyjek, a young communications expert, and his wife Cora, who clutched a phone like a lifeline. Kathleen Stafford, a cipher clerk with nerves of steel, and her husband, Joseph, a budget analyst. Finally, Lee Schatz, an accountant thrust into espionage. They scattered into Tehran's labyrinthine alleys, disguised as students or locals. Hearts hammering. The CIA's Tehran station was gutted, but the agency activated its deep cover networks, code-named the Canadian Caper, but whispers called it Argo's shadow. The real op was far deadlier. These 6 weren't just hiding, they were the bait for a larger gambit. Carter greenlit a rescue, Operation Eagle Claw. But first, the spies had to survive to become the mission's eyes on the ground. Tehran was a pressure cooker. Revolutionary guards patrolled with Kalashnikovs. Informants lurked in bazaars, and mobs lynched suspected spies. The 6 split into 2 teams. Team 1 in a shabby apartment on Avenue Ferdowsi, Team 2 in a northern suburb. They burned documents, shredded passports, and whispered in code. Food came from sympathetic Armenians, flatbread and yogurt, eaten in darkness. Enter Ken Taylor, Canada's ambassador, a bluff, pipe-smoking diplomat with a gambler's nerve. Ottawa, at Washington's urging, issued fake passports branding the Americans as a Canadian film crew scouting locations for a sci-fi flick called Argo. CIA forger Tony Mendez flew to Ottawa with blank passports and Hollywood flair. He dressed the spies in denim, added fake beards for the men, and scripted cover stories. Anders as producer, Lyjek as cinematographer. But Extraction wasn't a movie set. Mendez needed intel from inside. That's where the real spy mission ignited, a network of local assets, paid in gold and promises. Ajax, a former SAVAK officer turned double agent, mapped guard checkpoints. Narcissus, a Bazari merchant's son, smuggled radios. They fed data to a CIA listening post in Turkey, bounced via satellite to Langley. By mid-January 1980, the spies were prepped. Fake Iranian visas stamped, scripts memorized. We're shooting a space epic. Tehran's got that dystopian vibe. Tension peaked as they shopped for props in the Grand Bazaar, clapperboards, Polaroids, too. Sell the ruse. One slip, and it'd be show trial by firing squad. Meanwhile, Carter's military planners brewed Eagle Claw, the hammer to the spies. Scalpel. 8 Rh-53DC Stallion helicopters launched from the USS Nimitz in the Arabian Sea, rendezvousing with C-130s at Desert 1, a salt flat 200 miles southeast of Tehran. Delta Force commandos would chopper in, link with CIA assets. Free the 52 hostages and exfil by truck, courtesy of local bribes. The spy's role? Light the beacon. Shots radioed coordinates for a landing zone near the embassy. But doubt not. Intel painted Tehran as a hornet's nest, anti-aircraft. Guns on rooftops, F-14s at Mehrabad Airport. Ironically, Tomcats sold by the U.S. to the Shah. January 25, 1980. Dawn cracks over Tehran. The six gather at the safe house. Passports trembling in hands. Mendez's team briefs them. Smile, act bored. Improvise. A Swissair jet waits at Mehrabad. Guards swarm the airport, sniffing for Shah loyalists. Cora Lijek steps first, veil fluttering. Just tourists, she murmurs to a guard. He waves her through. One by one, Stafford fumbles her visa, heart stops, but it's approved. Anders, bearded and gruff, bluffs a bizarre haggle story. By 12:45 p.m., all six board, strapped in, as the plane taxis. Turbulence masks sobs of relief. Tehran shrinks below. Mission success for them. But Eagle Claw loomed. The spies escape masking a volcano. April 24, 1980. Moonless night. Six hellos lift off from the Nimitz, skimming waves at 50 feet. Pilots battled Habub, a blinding sandstorm. One hello aborted with a cracked rotor blade. Another veered off, lost in the void. Desert 1. Salt flats shimmer like a ghost lake. 5 hellos arrive. C-130s wait with fuel bladders. But disaster compounds. A second hello's instruments fail, hydraulic leak. Now only 5 birds for 120 commandos. Mission parameters demanded 6. Abort? Colonel Charles Beckwith, Delta's founder, radios Tehran assets. Stand down. Then, catastrophe. AC-130 drifts too close to a parked hello. Sparks fly. Fuel vapors. Ignite. The hello erupts in a fireball, engulfing the Hercules. Ammo cooks off like fireworks. 8 servicemen dead. Pilots, techs, Marines. Beckwith orders. Evacuation. $100 million in hardware abandoned. Iran sniffs the smoke, claims wreckage as proof of invasion. Washington reels. Carter briefs Congress in tears. Khomeini crows victory. Hostages endure mockery. The spies escape, once triumphant, now bittersweet footnote. But the mission's shadow lingers. Declassified cables reveal deeper layers. Was Eagle Claw a feint? CIA moles reported Soviet advisors in Tehran eyeing Iranian oil. Some whisper a ghost team, non-official cover operatives embedded pre-storming, extracting nuke blueprints from the Shah's labs. Unproven, but files hint at Project Oracle, a black op for regime intel. Iran-Contra echoes it. 1985, Reagan sells arms to Khomeini via Israel, funds. Nicaraguan Contras. Ollie North's notebook cite Tehran assets from Eagle Claw. Survivors. Fast forward. Mossad's Stuxnet cyber spies cripple Nathan's nukes in 2010. Code. Named Olympic Games with U.S. nod. Echoes of Desert One's ghosts. The 6 spies debriefed in Frankfurt, then Virginia. Anders climbed state ranks. Lijeks wrote memoirs. Taylor got the Congressional Gold Medal. Mendez's Argo tail hit. Screens in 2012. Ben Affleck's beard a Hollywood polish on raw peril. Yet Eagle Claw scarred America. It birthed SOCOM, Delta's expansion, SEAL Team, SIXS. Rise. Bin Laden's Abbottabad raid in 2011. Rehearsed on Eagle Claw's ashes. Geopolitics shifted. Carter lost to Reagan. Iran festered into the axis of evil. Today's drones over Soleimani's convoy trace to that Tehran night. In the end, spy missions in Iran remind us. Intelligence is the invisible front line, where heroes vanish into legend, and one gust of sand can topple empires. What shadows lurk in tomorrow's Tehran?